Hello. All right. Tonight we're gonna jump right into the live stream because I don't know exactly how long I'm gonna be able to stay awake tonight. Um, I was gonna stream last night. And I was gonna do a stream all the stuff that's been coming out, and we got trailers, we got combat cast to happen, and everything. The last few days have been just really busy, and I've been working on the retrospect, but also I've been working on running through the games from October and everything that I haven't finished up yet. So been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and then also we had the batch of WWE content that came out, so I've been trying to keep up with that. Yeah, it's just been a lot to keep up with and everything. So I wanted to go live here, and again, it's probably just going to be a little bit of a shorter stream tonight, maybe an hour or two, just enough to run through everything that has been going on in the gaming world. And as the title suggests, I am going to be kind of thinking about the question in the back of my brain of, have we topped out in the gaming space of like gaming engines and everything? Yeah. So let's jump into it and do it. First up, I guess we'll jump into the combat cast here, check out the new Mortal Kombat stuff, and yeah, it should be fun checking this out. I will be checking out. I do have the season pass, so this whole like season 2 of Mortal Kombat 1, I will be jumping in because it's I got the one that for the story expansion. I did pick up the one with the season pass in it. So I will be doing way more fighting game stuff on the channel in the very near future. I do want to jump back into Tekken. I don't know about Street Fighter, maybe. We'll see. I would like to get like a gold rank character in all three of the big games, so that would mean I'd have to do a lot more with Mortal Kombat. Actually, well, no, you can't really get a gold character.
The combat cast starts now.
But yeah, let's check it out. Let's see what we got going on with this.
Everyone, welcome to the latest edition of the Combat Cast. I am Tyler.
Stephanie, the QA lead at NetherRealm.
And I hit a button. God damn it. Hold on.
Before we get to all of the information from the Combat Cast today, we know one of the main reasons you're here is to see a very special video. Stephanie, I know you're a huge fan.
Oh, my favorite movie.
I'll let you do the honors.
I've never been more stoked to work on a guest character. So here we go. The world premiere, the exclusive, the Ghostface trailer.
Take a look.
I think I might have seen the original Scream movies, right? That's the I think I've seen the original Scream movie, and I haven't seen any of the other one. I might have seen like a couple minutes of one or two of them over the years that were on like TV or something. But yeah, for the most part though, Scream, I have no idea when it comes to like Ghostface and everything. I know a Ghostface character, of course. I've seen it a million times over the years, but I remember slightly faintly watching the first one. Thought it's all right, and then that Halloween, everybody dressed up like Scream just because or Ghostface, I should say, just because it was a super cheap costume to get in the 90s. So, yeah. So, again, I ain't got a clue on this. I'll try and go back and actually watch the Scream movies before the DLC drops, and also the Conan movie too. I think I've only seen maybe bits and pieces of the Conan movie, unless I just forgot about it. But that's another one I might have to go back and fucking NetherRealm, get you watching all the old movies and stuff. Ed Boon probably loves that. Anyways, let's. All I know is that Ghostface is. It's always the people in the movie or whatever. It's one of them.
That anyone could be so cold-hearted.
Are you really one to be throwing stones?
Fight!
Okay. The telephone, yeah, I do remember something about the telephone. Ah. What? Oh no, a crawl. What? Okay. Oh, there's a teleport also. All right. Interesting.
I hear you've got quite a scream.
I will be glad to let you hear it.
Ah. Holy shit, that cell phone, that is peak 90s cell phone right there. They nailed it. Okay, the combo structure actually seems like it might be easy to do, but then again, it's actually one of the things I do need to sit down with MK1, and now I actually have the season 1 combat pack, and actually take a couple nights to sit down and learn the DLC characters good enough to maybe use them online one time. That's the thing with Mortal Kombat 1, you can kind of jump on MK1 even now, and there's nobody like there's some people that are super try hard, there's some people that are really going, but the thing with MK1 is a lot of people didn't like it. So it really what they're banking on with this combat pack, I'd feel, is that they're looking for that one character that everybody can really play and jump into very easily. But it's just, again, it's that combo structure. It's just, you have to fucking hit a back forwards 1-2 just to make one combo string come out, and you're just like, holy fuck. Where normally it's like forward 1-2, which would pop them up into the air, then catch them as they're coming halfway down the screen. Again, I say it every time, but it's just the combo structure is so just rough in Mortal Kombat 1. Something I think they should really do an overhaul of. But this, I don't know, this Ghostface here, everything that I'm seeing seems to be, I mean, we're gonna see in a little bit here when they start actually showing the combo structure on stream, but so far by eyeing it, it looks like it could be a little bit easier of a structure. So let's keep going here. Wow, a dash forward and catch with a knife?
I love I can kill you again and again.
You will not succeed even once.
I can just keep killing you again and again. Oh. Mid-screen juggles. I think that's something I figured out in MK11 is I like mid-screen juggles where you don't have to jump up in the air, but as soon as I have to jump up in the air, it just, my brain just goes fucking mud. MK11 was a lot of like you juggle, but you're on, it's grounded juggles, maybe you could call it, or mid-screen juggles. I don't know exactly what the terminology is for it, but just having the ability to not have to jump up in the air and just be able to do, because it goes into rhythm, and that's, I mean, 100% my brain works off of rhythm, especially in fighting games. Elden Ring, the rhythm of the fight and everything. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, what the hell? He's got a Melita ball? What? Holy shit. This looks like Scorpion, MK11 Scorpion freaking combos. I'm actually really liking that. Is Ghostface going to be one of my main characters on accident, just like what was it, Lee May or whatever her name is?
Finish him.
Yeah, I really gotta watch a couple of the movies. There's what, 10 of them? Being sarcastic.
What? Oh, come on! This is bullshit! He's a dude with a knife!
Fatality.
See you soon.
Oh, okay.
Ghostface wins.
All right, that's cool.
Flawless victory.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There it is, Ghostface. Insane. Like, so many iconic moments from the history of that character.
Yeah.
I mean, Roger Jackson's incredible voice. I love the fatality being fourth
Oh,
wall.
they got the
meta,
original
which
voice.
is,
That's cool.
You know, always been one of the hallmarks of the series.
They didn't get the original Homelander, and it's like the more you play or see Homelander in MK1, it's just there's something off, and it's because it's not the actual voice of Homelander. They got Cena in there. I think they had a stand-in for Sylvester Stallone, if I remember right, but I think Arnie came into the studio, and he actually is going to be voicing Conan. He also voiced Terminator. I'm pretty sure that it could be the other way around, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So, yeah, just to hear that it's original, it just makes the character pop, you know?
The great animations on all the grabs and everything. It's
The crawl, the knives,
Yes.
just so many amazing things that Ghostface is iconic for
right.
in that little 3.5 minute chunk. Really cool. And you're all going to love playing Ghostface, and we're going to talk about Ghostface later in the show. But before we do that, we do want to talk about some things that are upcoming with the release of Ghostface. And
Holy shit, it just dawned on me. Ghostface on PC, you could probably mod that into being it might line up. Let's get especially because we have Metal Gear Solid Ass Ear coming out. So let's get Solid Snake in Mortal Kombat over the top of Ghostface. It looks like that would be a really cool mod to have. I'm going to put it out there in the world right now. Solid Snake over Ghostface.
one of those is we have some new season notes. Scorpion is back.
Yes, the season of the Spectre, but some new things we're adding to it.
Yeah, so this time around with the season of the Spectre, we're updating encounters that will have some newer mini games. Here's a big one. Chest keys are no longer consumable items, but they stack. So all those people like myself who go and buy a bunch of keys,
Same.
you're going to have space. There's some new exclusive skins to unlock, especially one highly requested Natara skin will be somewhere in the season.
Okay.
Players can also unlock Season 1 Combat League palettes throughout the Season 1 of Invasions. We've also added some new character relics.
I fucking forgot invasions were a thing in MK1. I was gonna run through the actual like this season and get a bunch because I think this last season actually had some somewhat decent. The thing is of all this is like the first season had really shitty color palettes. The second season, which was basically like the Halloween season, I think had a little bit better color palettes, but because we had like it was like a tan and then like a green or some shit, if I'm something like that, and then we had, I think this last one like was red and black or something, which is not bad. That always is a decent color scheme, but yeah, it's just they've done really bad with the color schemes in MK1. For customization, that's probably the worst, outside of just the fact that like you can't really customize the characters at all. It just kind of sucks ass that we don't have the. I mean, it's been, that's the thing. It's been going backwards since like, well, since Injustice 2. It's like Injustice 2 had a shit ton of customization, but you couldn't, everything's locked behind the fucking loot box. Then we have MK11 where they have a decent amount of customization and the moveset stuff. People complain for some fucking reason. And then we have MK1 where there's basically no customization whatsoever other than just like you have to grind your ass off just to get a couple of, color palette swaps. It's just like, jeez.
To give characters some additional new moves.
And there might be a new cashew.
Oh, cashew. Okay. Some new cashew stuff. Another thing that's coming very soon is a feature that I'm excited about that's going to help players from all levels grow. And it's a replay takeover function. It's a function where you'll be able to play a match, watch the video of that match, stop that match where you want to, and take over either character.
Right. So, we play online. Mm-hmm. You beat me pretty bad. You do some setup I've never even seen before. It's crazy.
I mean, yeah.
So I can go to the replay and actually take control after that setup you used and kind of try different options. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's very good.
Cyrax, bomb setups on Reiko.
Bombs and goo.
What are you going to do? Well, with Replay Takeover, You just take over. You're now Reiko. You're going to get out of this setup. So what's the first thing you try to do?
Probably block.
Always try to block. Nope, command grab. So that's not going to work. Now, maybe you try to delay wake up.
All right.
Not still.
It's crazy that we're at this point, especially like fighting games. Like we're at the same point with shooters also, where there is so much data being collected on every single match that happens. So if you rage quit out of a matchup, they're gonna know it. They meaning NetherRealm or whoever the developers are, they are going to know that you rage quit. So be careful on rage quitting. But we have so much stat tracking happening with all this, with all the servers and the consoles and everything else happening now, that we can literally cut a small chunk of the matchup out and be like, okay, what the fuck happened here? What was each individual button press? What's the thing that you could possibly do to get out of it, or do this or do that? It is kind of crazy that we're at that point right now. As it's just to think we went from the point of like online doesn't even work to now you can literally like pause the feed and do all that. Let me put that up there. Hold on. Get my freaking keyboard so I can get up a little bit closer to the microphone here. But yeah, it is kind of insane to just think about that.
Still stuck in the blender.
Still got the bombs.
Now let's neutral.
Okay, that'd be usually one of my go-tos.
Enhanced bomb gets you. So what do most great players do? Mash.
Mash very, very hard.
And mashing doesn't work.
Well, surely there's something.
Now let's try jumping out of the corner.
And there you go.
Misses the command grab, hits their own fatal blow, invert.
So it's like, if I had just jumped, well, now you can test this. That's it's interesting. All those theories that you have running through your head of, if I had just done this, I can actually see.
That is how replay takeover can work and teach
cool.
you how to
That's
play.
really cool. I hope that feature stays.
And one of the things that's
going
challenging
forward.
about fighting games is you might fight someone, maybe it's in a combat league, maybe it's an actual tournament, and they defeat you with this strategy you've never seen before, and maybe they're not available to play casuals, or maybe they don't want to help you. Maybe they're like, I'm not sharing my strats, save that for nationals. So
Ooh, there's no more saving strats. Ooh, so I wonder if you could go in on the pros replays that are saved and actually like check out like what the fuck are the pros use, like what is the setup that that this pro person is doing. Man, I would actually, that's one of the things with Tekken I think is really, really cool is you have the ghosts on there, the ghost bells. I think that is fucking awesome. You can actually go against, essentially in a way you could go against a professional player's stat data that's being tracked by the AI and all that stuff. I think that is awesome. And I think that we should have even more of that stuff. Especially with something like Mortal Kombat, where you have different setups, but then so the thing with Mortal Kombat too also is there is setups that feel like they're impossible to get around, and trying to set that up in training mode sometimes is a pain in the ass to just go back in there and be like, okay, here is the setup that somebody was doing over and over and over again, and just be able to click the button and have it all set up for you so you can try and figure out how to get out of it. That's awesome. Again, I would love to see that maybe also implemented in like Street Fighter and such. If somebody just did some crazy button presses. Yeah.
what you can do is actually use the replay, take control of it. You can look at the options without having to get help from other people.
And it's also not even about like trying to get out of setups. You can also, could I have done something different on this combo to end this round? Because you're in a certain situation. How much damage do I need to do? Would this have helped more?
Again,
little bits and pieces.
That's actually a really cool
can be
feature.
improved by using the replay takeover.
Like that.
And I think this will be awesome. Like you said, all skill levels. People who are already good and want to get into real granular stuff.
Yeah.
But also people that aspire to be good and they just need more help and more tools understanding how to get good.
And honestly, when you talk about players like on the curve of good to bad, not bad, but newer players, even small things like punish timings.
Oh, exactly.
Like
right.
even the easiest like special move, how do I punish this? Try it over and over and over again.
Right, you're fighting a smoke player, they're really killing you with that teleport. You're making the right guess, but you're not sure what to do after it.
Right.
This can
Is it
help.
high?
You
Is
can
it
pick just
low?
different
And you can
parts of the
actually
match where you were
figure out like, oh,
if I would have done a little something different, what is that different?
and that's the thing too. Like, for most part, if you're trying to figure something out, it should, if somebody's using something over and over again, and there is certain spots where it's just like, what the fuck do I do here? But in all honesty, you should also be getting to a point after a few hours of like, or well, if you've seen the same character and the same spammy stuff being happened after a few times over again, you should start picking up on how to get out of the situation. But also you should be trying stuff on the fly in the middle of the round too, of like, okay, they're going for this again. Let's try a grab. Let's try a low kick. Let's try a jump out. You know, you should always be trying to like figure it out on the fly as you're doing the round. That's how the best players to go. It's not a set thing of like, this YouTube video said to do this, this, and this, so that's what you always should do. No. The coolest fighting game is almost like playing guitar in concert. The solo should, you should always improvise slightly on the solo, anyways, yeah,
You can now find out.
It's very neat to say, how advanced these things are to help people. Back in my day,
yeah,
back in the 1970s, we didn't even have frame data. We were just guessing. We were just making it up.
If you only had this.
Right.
So we also, before we get on to the main event of, you're going to show everyone how to play Ghostface, we're going to talk about some balance stuff. And I know that people love these new videos we've been putting out and showing the new balance changes. We have some characters today that I think people are going to be really excited to hear have some very cool changes coming.
And a couple of these are some of the ones that have been, heavily requested.
Yes.
Like, please touch my character. Give me something new to play with.
Right. So
yes, because the community always says,
and
don't
I'm going to talk
nerf
about
my
it before we show the
characters.
video, so you can kind of get an eagle eye on what we're talking about. You're going to see, because some of these videos have multiple pieces.
And there might be a sneak peek of some new skins.
Possibly. First, we're going to talk about Ashra. Her enhanced moves can now swap stances by holding stance switch, so you're able more quickly.
Oh shit, we're gonna have a bikini
stances,
pack
which can
for
help
all
with
the
stat damage.
for all the female characters.
And you'll see in this also, the Frost cameo can use her ice crash and explode her own frost wall to launch the opponent.
I also think it'd be worth looking at up blocking Cyrix's back too, because there's something unique about the second hit.
And you're going to see that right now.
You can essentially cut down the length of the
Some
map.
awesome changes for Ashra and the other characters as well. Just giving Ashra a little more speed when it comes to switching in and out of her stances.
Right, I think one of the cool things our design team's done with MK1 is the balance changes aren't necessarily about making a strong character worse or a bad character good. It's also, how can we kind of tinker with the game balance to just more tools, more fun, more player expression. So I think like the Ashra one and Smoke one we're about to talk about. I think
we'll be talking about
really
Smoke
cool
here in a
for
bit.
that.
I just want to see the buttons be
Let's go
simpler.
on to Garrus, though. Garrus now, his
The combo
enhanced
route be
command
simpler.
grab allows for cameo follow-ups anywhere on the screen.
What's crazy is like MK11. I actually did I platinum the game out? I can't remember now. I got all of the. I think I did platinum out MK11 actually. I got all the training stuff done. So all the trials there, the challenges, trials, whatever they're called. I actually beat all of those on MK11 twice. Actually, I even did it on with the time specific thing for Beard Arsenal. I ran in there and I actually beat all his challenges running over the networking stuff there. So the share play game share, wherever the fuck it's called there on the PlayStation. I did all those trials for him with that much lag on the controls. And the only reason why I could do it was because MK11's combo routes were so much fucking easier to execute and implement. You could just do it even with a lag. And I tell you one thing, it made everything way easier when you go online. You have somebody with a 300 ping. Also, it's ridiculous. Some of these online connections. That also being said, when I go into MK1, fuck, just trying to remember one line of a combo it kind of just like it melts your brain just trying to like, oh my god, how, because it's like you're going from like 4 button presses for one combo string to like is like 8-9 of them, and then you also have to do a juggle in between that. It's, when the challenge when you're doing the challenges and everything. I told you I'm a little bit tired tonight. But yeah, it's
be a lot easier to understand if you just take a look here.
Wait, so everybody gets a wall?
He's a real team player.
Really is.
Right.
Here's a good one. Serena. We got some changes for Serena. And you have to really watch this video. Let me explain it real quickly. So Serena has a new rune which grants damage buff and super meter regen over time when you're in it. So in this video, you're going to see Quan do a breaker, then an EX move shortly thereafter because he's in Serena's new rune. So that's like 4 bars of super meter in like 5 seconds. Let's take a look.
Okay, so he gets juggled, breaks, traps. Traps again activates
Excellent.
a projectile.
Constant offense. More and more EX moves.
It really helps you pass the bar exam.
I liked it.
Yep.
Smoke fans. We've heard from Smoke fans. Smoke fans want something new to play with. And I think you're going to be really excited about this. From what I hear from QA, it really changes up how the character plays quite a bit.
All I'm saying with Quan Chi is he's going to be that much more of a piece of shit to try and fight against. Because everybody's just going to be trap. And that was the thing with what was it, Ermac and Quan Chi. I'm really hoping I'm remembering my time online with MK1 and not MKX or something. But yeah, like fucking holy shit, was it trap character, the match off, whatever.
Smoke can now perform his Vicious Vapors back forward 3 smoke dash in the air, which lets him combo off some moves he never could before, and the enhanced version, pardon me, will restand the opponent. And you're also going to see in this video, you're going to see Homelander, his forward 4 now hits mid. Just some more stuff for Homelander, and especially for Smoke.
Oh, great.
Smoke fans rejoice. Check it out.
That smoke changes fire.
Okay. You're on it today. You're really on it. Finally, another character that we hear a lot about, vocal community, with Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero's triple clone now allows him to perform multiple freezes in one combo. Sub-Zero's slide also now switches sides always, which allows for cameo follow-ups or to pop them up into clones. You can also perform the old spear follow-ups by holding 3 as you do the slide. Lot of words there.
Basically, big combo opportunities.
Yeah. And let's take a look at those.
He already had, I'd say Scorpion is probably one of the easiest characters to execute with, even online in this, because he plays so much like an MK11 character. Like everything is super simple. Just it's like down forwards, or you're just going forward, forward 2 or something, and you're just doing shit instead of having to be like. It's typing in a fucking book just to make the character perform the combo string into another combo string and whatnot. Oh, that's fancy. Oh, that's fancy.
And there we are, some new frozen toys for Sub-Zero to play with.
Fun.
Right, and now they can chill out.
Okay, that's 3 for you're 3 for 3.
Yeah,
I gotta say,
somebody's writing these for you. Come on.
So those are some of the balance patches. We will have some balance patch notes coming very soon. Pay attention to social media, and you'll be able to see those. But I think the main course today, we've already shown the trailer, which was everyone came for, obviously.
Right.
We need to talk about Ghostface and how to play Ghostface. So first, before we start, like I always ask you, who is a Ghostface player? How does Ghostface play?
I would describe Ghostface as kind of a jack of all trades, because
Good.
one of the key things about Ghostface from the Scream movies is there's always more than one, with the exception of Roman from the very underrated Scream 3. They
Spoilers.
always, that movie's 20 years old, but they always work as a group, sometimes two. There's been 3, and in this game there's actually 3. There's the original Ghostface killer from the movies. He's been transported to Liu Kang's timeline. He doesn't have his partner. He decides to recruit two members of the Black Dragon clan to help him out, and they are the alternate Ghostface. So he's kind of a character that's like almost 3 characters in one. And that involves zoning moves, some really strong grappling moves, combo extenders.
This all sounds very fun.
From behind, long-range command grabs, all kind of neat options, all tied to his ability to work together and to switch in and out.
Holy shit, am I actually going to have like a very fun night on MK1 and actually have a character that's like, this sounds right down my alley. Like, that's the reason why I like Lee May, because she is an all-rounder and it's easy execution. I kind of like Sub-Zero. I need to have like a good run on MK1. I haven't really had a run on MK1 yet. I got sucked back into Tekken because Beard Arsenal was like, I need a training partner, and I'm like, oh shit, now I'm actually having I was having some fun on Tekken 8, and then shithead started getting online and destroying it. So it was like, and now after Evo and everything, I am definitely getting the Tekken. The Tekken fire is burning again, but also the Mortal Kombat itch for blood is there too. So we will see. We will see.
Jack of all trades.
Right.
All right. You want to take a look?
So let's go in. Let's start with the original Ghostface killer, the default, the one that you're going to play as. Let's see how he works. All right. So before we get any kind of swapping, let's go over the default Ghostface that you start with. The Woodsboro slasher. He's been moved to this timeline. He's ready to get some new, fresh victims.
So this is OG.
As you can imagine, he fights with a knife, which means a lot of his attacks
OG Scream 1 Ghostface.
I love his standing 2. He's got a little low attack version there. This is one of my favorites. Psycho stabs, just 4-4-4.
Yes.
Super fun to do, and I love how it looks. One of his best normals is his forward 2. It's like a quick.
Oh yeah. Oh, you can catch with that.
Exactly.
Cool.
You can hit confirm.
Yeah. Stab him in the
kind of like
nooch.
his main footsies tool. His back 3 is a very quick mid.
Cool.
You can go into this drop kick, which is also his sweep.
Why is Ghostface looking fun
is,
as fuck?
You know,
What the hell?
Huge range because of his knife.
It says bullshit.
I'd love to show forward 4, which is this combo starter.
Oh fuck, he doesn't.
And he can also do it from the 2.
He doesn't add to adjustment into it.
1+3,
What?
and he yanks him over.
Is Ghostface just John Cena?
Basic set of normals that have long range. You know, not a lot of tricks and traps or really fancy stuff, but you know,
but that's
pretty
coming.
good speed. Yeah. But his normals are pretty easy to understand.
Right.
Pretty
I need a mod, so every time so they just said a command grab there. I need a mod where every time he goes and grabs and then does the attitude adjustment on him, and you just hear and then he lands on the ground. I need that. I need that. I don't know. There's no audio cue on it, but I need that. And just be able to do that like 3 or 4 times during a match. That'd be great. That'd be great.
So let's go into his special moves. And again, these are the special moves that, you know, when you first go into the match, he's going to have these moves.
I can kick.
Let's start with his command grab, Father Death. Goes into
the sound effect in there too.
You can hold back to throw them in the opposite direction.
That's cool.
Could that throw be any more brutal?
Yes, it could. Yes, it certainly
Ooh,
could.
you can amplify the shit out of it.
Let's watch that again. The way, like the struggle to have it go all the way through. He is a nasty, violent character. He also has this dive move. It's down forward 4, and then he starts
right here,
on the ground.
Solid Snake.
And from there, he has a quick slash attack, this toe stab, which I absolutely
Oh my god. And the little sound effect in the background. Ring. If you just make that wing. Oh man. They're this close to having Solid Snake in Mortal Kombat. And holy shit, would Solid Snake in Mortal Kombat be really, really cool to see. Another one too would be maybe like Tomb Raider, like Lara Croft in oh, man, if the next Mortal Kombat went like video game crossovers, there's a few of them.
We love, and that has an enhanced version where for 2 bars he can actually
pin you down
into the ground.
Yeah.
And the EX version of the down forward 4, the dive, has armor. That's his only armor move besides his fatal blow.
Okay.
So you can take a move, lay on the ground,
and
start
then
doing
go
your.
into the
Oh
opposite
wow,
side.
that's the
And you can
only
also
armored
crawl
move.
forward as you saw in the trailer, or stand back up.
Yeah, well, fail blow also, the armor on fail blow sucks ass. Like you just get hit out of it a lot of times. So fail blows really aren't that armored in this compared to like MK11, where it's like if you're really trying to like that's the thing with the fail blows being armored in MK11. If you're getting caught into a combo or somebody was really just like spamming you out towards the end of the match, you could actually armor through ting 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 and then smack that fucking fail blow and catch the little shits like that. This one, it's like ting ting and then you get hit out of it. It's, yeah.
Another move I like to show, and this is by far my favorite animation, maybe in the whole
Throwing
game.
knife?
I think this animation perfectly captures the character. Down forward 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which you then have multiple options to do from.
Wow.
So you can do this quick slice, which is like your fastest option. Then he also has an overhead, which is a little bit slower.
Oh fuck! I did it again. No, my finger.
Main footsies tool. His back 3 is a very quick mid. You can go into this drop kick, which is also his sweep. His uppercut is, you know, a huge range because of his knife. And then lastly, I'd love to show forward 4, which is this combo starter. And he can also do it from the so it's 2-2, 1+3, and he yanks him over.
Yeah, see, that's if
So
if I throw him up into the air and then do ga 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 ga.
Traps are really fancy stuff, but you know.
Okay, so that quick jab into like that little spinny move that he's doing right there. If I can mix together with and then pop him up into the air and then fucking catch him again somehow, fuck, Ghostface is gonna be crazy.
But that's
pretty
coming.
Good speed, yeah.
Crazy.
The normals are pretty easy to understand.
Right.
Pretty straight.
Now, hopefully, the 3-hit combo that he's doing right there is not going to be like triangle, square, circle, like 2-1-3, or like I don't want to have to dance around the damn. Give me just the triangle, triangle, or square, or something like that. Like give one set of of a combo that's easy to execute, especially when you're online and there's so much fucking lag everywhere. Yeah.
Forward. So let's go into his special moves. And again, these are the special moves that, when you first go into the match, he's going to have these moves. Let's start with his command grab, Father Death. It goes into this brutal animation. You can hold back to throw them the opposite direction.
Could that throw be any more brutal?
Yes, it could. Yes, it certainly could.
Oh, I
God,
just
that
watched
end there,
that.
let's
My
watch that
bad.
again.
It's terrifying when he's running at you because of the option.
Exactly.
I just watched all that. I didn't even realize it. That's
He
how much. That's
takes
how much
a lot
all
of
that
these
stuff was
moves,
computing.
effective moves. So he's very versatile, very good combos, pretty good mix-ups, good grabs and all that. But he's very meter hungry. It's
Yeah, so when you said master, has a lot of tricks.
Right.
Still got to keep that in mind.
yeah. One of the consequences is you're going to be wanting to look at your meter manager.
Okay, so it's
Then
gonna
he
be a
has
meter
another
heavy
special move,
character,
the
but
backstage pass. So what happens is he leaves the screen and comes back around because just when you think you've escaped him, he somehow appears behind you, just like any slasher should. And this move has a couple of options. You can hold back, and it'll actually just come back around.
so wow, you can
Or
cancel the
hold button,
teleport.
and he won't do the attack when he comes around. So you can the classic thing of the no mix up. They're staggered like a deer in headlights, and you throw them or whatever. And finally, the last kind of default move he has is Phone Call, where he pulls out this 90s phone. Another ghost face pops up from behind, slashes them in the back.
The brick phone. I
I love it.
It's amazing. And this also has a couple of different versions.
I remember
you can actually
those.
hold it, and the killer will wait, and you can either let him go, or you can do the slash. You can hold it, and then do an uppercut to do into a combo.
You know what's funny is like those phones are in like museums for historical technology and all that shit. And I just remember growing up, that's the old junk phone. It was sitting up on top. We had one of those on the because we had the phone on the wall, and the old junk phone was just put up on top of the refrigerator. And it sat there for the longest time, for years and years and years, and that was just like the old junk phone that nobody used anymore. And now everybody's like, "Oh my god, a brick phone is like fucking, it's ancient technology, history. That's historical stuff." Like, dude, back in the day, it was just a piece of shit phone. It's funny how some technology just has been like immortalized and shit. Especially the rotary phone, also. It's like that's just the. I remember using a rotary phone growing up every once in a while, and like fucking the thing of it was, it's just like it was the old pain in the ass phone. And then when the other phones came out where you just go, you clicking into buttons, it was like, oh, there's buttons on this. I don't have to, you don't have to do that shit anymore. So, but now it's like the rotary phone is like a museum piece of technology and everything. I'm just like, man, we couldn't wait to get rid of that shit. And now it's in museums and all. As like iconic history technology.
Or another one of these amazing animations. You can EX it, and the move transforms into a command grab.
Oh.
Only a real Chad could escape from an attack like that.
Right.
So that is kind of the base moveset that the original Ghostface killer has. Let's start talking about the way you swap into the other two killers. All right, so let's talk about killer swaps. Ghostface does not act alone, usually. And in the game, the original Ghostface from Woodsboro has recruited 2 members of Kano's Black Dragon.
Yeah, okay,
We're
so
call
he
them
is.
the Black Dragon
He is.
Enforcer and the Black Dragon Assassin. Now, their identities, they're not anonymous.
Right.
I know who they are. You know who they are. But one of the fun things about Scream is the whodunit aspect.
Uh-huh.
You shouldn't figure out who the killer is till the 3rd act reveal. So for this stream, we're not going to name any names. It's up to you to look at the clues, the Easter eggs, and maybe try to figure it out for yourselves. Argue amongst yourselves, spread your theories. But all 3, we're not going to say here.
Love it.
I think that would be very much against the spirit of Scream.
Okay.
So
That's
let's
cool.
go into how killer swapping works. All right, so there are 3 ways.
So this video was 24 hours. Okay, the stream was 24 hours. Oh, the comments are turned off. I'm like, somebody's probably already figured this shit out. The comments are turned off. It says probably somebody like, okay, so Scream is essentially 6 foot tall, 200 pounds, something like that, has a knife like 12 inches long, stabs from this direction to that direction, so all theories point to it's this person in the lore. Like, somebody's going through the fucking calculator of Mortal Kombat lore in their head, figuring out who it is.
You can swap your killer. The first and most straightforward is his throw. Here's his regular throw. I didn't do anything, I just hit throw. Love the way he picks up that knife. Now, if you hold L1 or L2 when throwing, you will swap killers. This is me as the Black Dragon Enforcer.
What?
For 12 seconds, I'll be the Black Dragon Enforcer. And then he's going to swap out. Or I can hold L2. You can see the red flash and the different knife.
Yeah.
And now I'm the Black Dragon Assassin. Every swap's going to take a barometer. The other 2 options are after backstage pass. So that's the move we talked about. You can hold L1 and he'll come back in as the Black Dragon Enforcer. Or you can do the other options, like you can EX it, hold L2, and I'm the Black Dragon Assassin. And then lastly is phone call. Same buttons, hold, and instead of doing the attack, they come in as the other killer. You can also do it off the EX version. So I'm gonna hold L1 this whole time. You can see the swap. So one of the fun things is this could be pretty chaotic in gameplay for the.
Isn't one of the Ghostface usually a female? So I'm not seeing any. I mean, the reason why I bring it up is like, I mean, could Cassie Cage be one of the Ghostface? I'm just saying, it's Cassie Cage. You know, we should really bring back the character Cassie Cage. I'm just saying, like, Cassie Cage was an integral part of MK11. She was the glue that held together everything. Without Cassie Cage, I mean, the timeline just falls apart now. You know, I want my Cassie Cage back.
The opponent, just like the movies, you're not, you know, you might not know which one is which unless you're really looking.
Or Diddy, did I see the flash? Did they have me like watching?
I thought you said Diddy.
Exactly.
Like Diddy done it.
So now let's talk about when you're swapped. There's two ways to go back to the original Ghostface killer. One is what we've seen, about a 12-second timer. The other is if you're attacked. So I'm going to throw you.
Okay.
I'm going to become the enforcer, and then you're going to.
Is there an animation that?
And takes the damage, but does not react, and then the original comes in. That even means, you know, you can't really be comboed. So, for example, I'm going to be the assassin. And you're
Okay, so it locks you down from like.
Tell me to get over here. Except I'm not. I'm going to stay over there, and the original is going to come back in. Now again.
Now my big question is can Scorpion actually hit a button and start up another combo while Ghostface is resetting in animation? If that is a no, we got a problem there, because then people are going to spam that, being like, oh, now I can just take control of the matchup somehow, you know, with the timing of it. If yes, then that's great, because then it's not spammy, but at the same time, you leave yourself open, which is fair, because that's a big, giant chunk of change of health that you're taking off Scorpion, where Scorpion, you know, can also just turn around and punch you in the face. Again, that's just, it keeps it balanced.
You do take damage. So, for one bar, it's almost like you have a shield. Maybe, you know, you won't be able to do a combo breaker, but you won't be put in combos because you're not reacting.
Still going to take a touch of damage, though.
Right, but not a full combo. And again, you also have the 12-second countdown. So now let's talk about their moveset when they've swapped.
Real quick, might be nice at the end of a round, too, if you're almost losing, switching out, and like you have, that might be your last effort.
Exactly. Or the opposite, you have a pretty big lead, and you it's kind of like an insurance policy.
Right.
So
why do they keep trying to make Mortal Kombat assists? Like it's like they keep trying to make it like Marvel, and nobody in the Mortal Kombat community likes Marvel. There's a reason why everybody's throwing such a shit fit about the assist characters in the first place. And now you're adding in basically an assist mechanic of bringing in another character. So essentially, you can't die if you have the other character in.
let's talk about their separate moves, special move sets. Sure. And to do that, I'm going to use a training mode option where you can swap, so I don't have to keep going back and forth. But just to be clear, I'm going to be doing a practice reset, and I'll be starting as the Enforcer Assassin, and that's just for the stream. Normally, you have to use the bar meter to switch. Right. So now you can see I've reset, and I'm the Black Dragon Enforcer. I got the blue aura. I got the cool big ol' knife, and I'm going to go into his moves. First thing is he has a new string. Both extra killers have one new string, in addition to, you know, the standard moveset that we showed. So this is 2, 1, 4. He also has a shoulder check. Not quite full screen, that's kind of the max range in here. EX is safe on
so essentially it's three variants.
In, check them,
but instead of picking one of the three, you
also,
pick it mid
series of 3
game.
special moves. It's 3 knives. You can use that for strike throw mix-ups.
It's gonna be great to play as, but trying to play
combos.
against it, we're gonna hate that.
Lastly, Black Dragon Enforcer has this windmill kick, and if you EX it, big ol' combo starter. So the Black Dragon Enforcer, to me, is going to be a pretty straightforward combo character.
Wait,
you know, you got combo extender.
You got the Batman kick?
Pressure,
the Batman back kick on there?
Close melee character that's going to add to Ghostface offense. And probably some of the best combo starters. Now let's talk about Black Dragon Assassin. So I'm gonna switch to her.
I love this.
Oh,
quality
okay.
of life
The
that we
assassin
a while
is,
back.
Oh,
is
it's
female
amazing.
character.
Put on the
Okay.
different things.
So
for the
there you
characters.
see red knife, different design on the knife.
I guess, yeah, I guess the character looks a little more bulky because I'm like thinking like you should be able to see that it's a female. But then again, in the Scream movies, I don't think you can really tell whether it's a female or male character either because it's just the costume is loose fitting and whatnot.
And they have a knife toss, including an air knife toss. And you can see it is very quick. You can also hold it, fake it out. You could do enhance.
Does it change to a female voice?
Throw two. Also, classic Black Dragon. The Black Dragon Cannonball. E-exit. You get this great animation.
Okay, so this is just Melina.
They'll be feeling woozy after that. And then a new string. Butterfly knives.
Yeah, that's
Bring it
definitely
wild.
Melina.
They're crazy. They're a psychopath. And then Nightshade, which is this poison mist. And it's a restand, or if you EX it, it's a straight combo starter.
Yeah.
And I think one of the coolest things you can see with like that move
Makes sense. You know, Melina always wearing the mask, and so they use her as the female Ghostface. That makes sense.
is the ability to swap back and forth. Like here, I'm gonna start as the original. So there you go. I can do backstage pass, turn into assassin, go into Nightshade, and 3 bars. Really cool combo using 2 different Ghostfaces.
Holy shit.
And then the 12 seconds is over, and I'm back. So I think the way that I think of Ghostface is the original Ghostface, the default one, is totally meant to be a complete character that you could just learn and master, and it's pretty straightforward. That's the pizza. And the Assassin and the Enforcer are the toppings.
Got it.
And they could add, you know, you saw with the knife toss, a zoning tool. You saw with the Rekkas, a pressure tool. But what if there was a way that all 3 could actually attack at
Oh,
once? Wouldn't that be great?
I
jeez.
mean, impossible.
Well, let's see the fatal blow.
Yep, this is Marvel all over.
Hey, that pan is no joke. It killed Steven Stone. That's got to be one of the nastiest cuts in the game, I think.
The hand?
Yeah,
Oh, my
it is
goodness.
so bad.
That is Ghostface.
That is Ghostface, and I'm so excited for people to play him. I think one of the more creative and just cooler characters in the game. I could not be happier.
And you'll be able to play him very, very soon in Mortal Kombat 1. So that's pretty much it
What's
for
the release
today's
date?
stream. But
Wasn't that enough?
that was great. I had a great time with you.
What's the release date on Ghostface?
Zoe?
The Academy.
Scary movies have made you a psycho.
Movies don't make psychos. They make psychos more creative.
Round 1. Fight.
Yeah, 50-50 mix-up right there. Damn it, I'm starting to feel it, the tiredness kicking in. I feel like Ghostface might actually be really fun. And of course, it's a character from a movie that I'm just like, eh.
I am the hunter.
Round 2. Fight.
Yes. Man, overhead, laying out prone on the ground. Yeah, I wonder who did capture on this. They
Cut flesh, scrape bone.
whoever's playing as Ghostface got some moves. We got advanced move tech. Fucking 50% combo. Oh, the juggling to grab. I love it. Oh, man. I definitely see a combo I'm going to be doing. Ooh, brutality.
This is my movie.
Brutality. Ghostface wins.
What? Cool. Okay. Mortal Kombat looking pretty damn good. I like it. Let's fly into the Square Enix thing. I am feeling it. I'm getting tired. Keep going. What is this? Wait, is it just a statue? Oh fuck, it's just a statue. I thought this was like animated video showing a teaser or something. Shit, it's just a statue. It's a very, very expensive looking set. Look at the eyes. Look at the detail in the damn eyes. This music sounds like fucking Mr. Roboto. Like, I feel like it's gonna kick in. Arigato, Mr. Roboto. Just a statue. Son of a bit. The last 2 days, I thought this. The last 2 days, I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this video because it's gonna be spoilers on something coming up. I thought maybe there's an update coming up or something. No, it's a goddamn statue. Son of a bitch. It looks cool. It looks very detailed. It looks really cool. Sephiroth is doing all his Sephiroth things in 4K. Okay. Now what the hell is this shit? Resident Evil leaks. I'm getting so tired.
Leaks, but that was just the tip of the iceberg. Today we're diving into gameplay details from 2 play tests, one featuring Leon Kennedy and the other featuring Jill Valentine. So with that being said, let's get right.
I hate that, again, it's like I said before, I hate the fact that we have these leaks and rumor mill stuff. I really wish we would just get a trailer and it's like, cool, here's what we're working on, teaser, boom. Is my freaking green screen showing, or yeah, it is. Green screen showing through a little bit. Son of a bitch. There. But yeah. I hate that we get these rumors and leaks and everything for Resident Evil when it's like not even nowhere near close to coming out or anything.
Into it. And with that comes new leaks and rumors. This information comes from our good friend Andy over at Biohazard Declassified, who got it from one of his sources. In our last video, we covered highlights from the leak, including characters, locations, enemies, story, and more. If you'd like.
So then why bother even fucking make the game? We might as well just skip right into just making a movie and drop that. Like, fuck. If everything is, and this is the thing too, like normally I try and get away from all this leak or rumor mill shit like it's the plague. But the problem is like you can't get away from it anymore because everybody fucking posts it 10 times over again. So it's just like, well, that's the next game. That's what we're doing. So it's going to be Leon, Jill, Adventure, first time ever, which is cool. I would have loved to have seen that and had like this big giant like moment like at the Game Awards or something that's coming up in a few weeks where it's like, holy shit, there's a new Resident Evil. It's Resident Evil 9. Now it's gonna be like, oh, it's Resident Evil 9. We get to see it. That's the reaction now.
Like to check that out, there'll be a link down below. Now we're diving into details from the playtest held in April and September. Keep in mind, everything you're about to hear is still a rumor until confirmed by Capcom, but that means there's possible spoilers ahead, so you've been warned. And
do I really? Again, it's going to be spoiled anyways. I hate it. I fucking hate it that I might as well just fucking hear it here, because I'm going to end up seeing it all over Twitter, all over the timeline, all over everything. Everybody, and then even if I censor out the words of like Resident Evil and I don't want to hear anything about Resident Evil until the trailer drops, there's going to be 10 other videos that pop up on YouTube where the thumbnail is literally like Leon Kennedy, Jill Valentine, here is the thing. There's no getting around it. There's no getting around. Everything will be spoiled before this game even comes out. And that is something that really, I feel, hurts Resident Evil and Capcom of like, oh, yeah, we already know about everything. Then we get to play through ourselves. So it's the whole mystery of the game just gets totally ruined and demolished.
if you enjoy this video or you're just excited for infection affecting the residents. During gameplay, she encountered mold-infected zombies armed with various weapons including knives, axes, scythes, and pieces of wood. Jill was equipped with a shotgun, pistol, knife, aid spray, 2 herbs, and can craft ammunition using gunpowder. She collects items dropped by zombies and solves puzzles throughout the hospital. Jill is pursued by a creature known as the Goat Man, which cannot be killed but only temporarily incapacitated.
This sounds like some made-up fantasy bullshit. Listen to that one more time.
She collects items dropped by zombies and solves puzzles throughout the hospital. Jill is pursued by a creature known as the Goat Man, which cannot be killed but only temporarily incapacitated. During the mission, Jill receives calls from Chris Redfield, who explains the hallucinogenic effects of the infection and stresses the importance of killing the controlling bioweapon. Chris also suggests using Rose's blood, which contains mutamycete antibodies, to create a vaccine. Barry Burton also calls Jill to discuss stronger weapon options. The hospital displays symbols of a red moon with an infinity symbol connected to the island's residents who worship the moon. The playtest ends with Jill being overpowered by the Goat Man, leaving her unconscious and infected. Next up, we have the September play.
Feels a little too Silent Hill-ish for Resident Evil. It's a little too like, what's real, what's not real. I don't really like that. I much rather see Resident Evil go rooted in reality. And I get they're trying to keep Resident Evil overall, like the universe is still trying to be rooted in reality by using all the dream sequences, but I think that should just be a Rose thing, maybe, of dream sequence type of stuff, because it's just, the Rose DLC was cool, but it's a what if scenario. And then also it's the whole thing of like, well, actually even Rose talking with Ethan is still technically kind of a what if scenario. What if Rose was to go into the Metamycete dream world, which she does, spoiler alert, and then, you know, she talks to Ethan and all that stuff. And of course, again, it's dream sequence world that she's in, so you can do a little bit more crazier bullshit in there. I hate that we might be going that direction of superpowers once again, and dream sequence. It's the equivalent of Ubisoft drug sequence of like, oh man, I'm going to take this, Native American drug or whatever and fly like an eagle through the passageways, or I'm going to totally get fucked up on whatever hallucinogen mushroom fucking trip that, I'm tripping balls and going to, and I am Odin now or whatever. Oh, plot twist, you are linked to Odin and all this. It's the same shit as that. As in Assassin's Creed. It didn't land in Assassin's Creed. It's not going to land in Resident Evil. So I really hope that I'm really hoping they kind of scrap that of like, oh, the Metamycete. Again, I don't want it to be a whole thing of like, is it real or is it not? Because Alan Wake 2 just popped in the head of like what is real, what is not. But that was more or less like the authors, him, and then the world changes and all that stuff, which was actually kind of cool to play around with that mechanic. But yeah, I don't know, man. Dream sequence in the Metamycete as the other characters outside of Rose. It just feels like they're trying to force going superpower mode. Again, I don't want Resident Evil to turn into like some superpowered superhero game and whatnot. The more rooted in reality, that's the reason why 2 and 3 work so well, because they are rooted, and also Village and fucking RE4 remake, they're rooted in reality for the most part, outside of like Heisenberg, throwing. You can see literally they explain the whole thing of Lady Dimitrescu. The reason why she is 12 feet tall is because she was already basically a giantess, and then the parasite makes her even taller, makes her fingernails grow really, really quickly and whatnot. It made sense on that. It's just enhancing the natural features that she already has. But this is just straight up like, oh, Jill is infected, dream sequence. So basically drug sequence.
Playlist with Leon Kennedy. In September, Leon Kennedy's playtest took place beginning on a beach at night and progressing into a forest near Mr. Simon's laboratory, where Leon's objective is to track down Simon, who is involved in creating cloned bioweapons of Evelyn. Leon encounters zombies with axes and makes a comment comparing the situation to Raccoon City. He is equipped with a machine gun.
Okay, so Evelyn wasn't terrible because she was there the whole time, but then she was just it was a hallucinogen, but it was a storytelling mechanic of a hallucinogen. It wasn't a full-on like dream sequence of, oh, you gotta fight a boss fight in a dream sequence. No, she is making you hallucinate stuff, but you are still actually in the world and whatnot. Like yeah.
Gun, pistol, knife, and aid sprays. Leon is pursued by a witch-like woman who cannot be killed as she transforms into flies and experiences hallucinations of dog-like enemies that are also unkillable. Mr. Simon taunts Leon through a loudspeaker, and Leon observes zombies praying to a large moon by a bonfire on a beach. The playtest concludes with Leon arriving at a blue umbrella.
So what's next? The bug people from RE6? I mean, this is really going down the rabbit hole that they don't want to be going down, of just like this wacky ass bullshit where the zombies are now sentient. It shouldn't be the zombies are sentient. It should be the survivors are evil. That's the reason why it is Resident Evil. That's all I'm going to say is with this. It's not sounding great. This is sounding kind of just like thrown together.
/BSAA base, suggesting that more agents.
Also, why is half the enemies so far that we've heard about, why are they non-killable? That boss fight, hello, be able to blow the damn thing. I mean, at the end of, RE3 remake, we can blow up fucking Nemesis that's after us. Mr. T, Mr. X, do we blow him up? Oh fuck, it's been a while. Yeah, and basically any pursuer enemy we can usually blow up in the end, but it's still like, why do we have to have 12 different fucking pursuer enemies? That's just kind of annoying to deal with. One is enough, I feel. I know that there is some folks in the Resident Evil space that's like more pursuer enemies. I kind of think they're annoying, in all honesty. Like after at the first run, yes, it gets you on. It makes your butt clench and it makes you go on the edge of your seat. But on if you're trying to platinum the game or go on like a speed run of some kind, pursuer enemies are kind of a pain in the ass unless you have like your nukem grenade launcher and everything. But even then, it's just like, oh god, just get off my ass.
Might be needed for this mission. Now we'll move into character appearances and communication. Chris Redfield appears on screen during his calls with Jill, providing insight into the mold infection and mission objectives, while Barry Burton contacts Jill to advise her on her weapon options. He is shown with gray hair as seen in promotional material for Biohazard Night of Heroes. Now we'll move on to the environmental and visual elements, the cult symbol.
They're trying to age all the characters forwards. I don't know. I guess aging the characters forward kind of feels like it's a hit or miss right there. We just got the characters back, looking real good, and they're awesome characters. They're fun characters and everything with the remakes, and now you're gonna take them away from us and age them forward and make them all fucking old and pissed off and battle worn and everything. I feel like we should just have Leon, Claire, like a couple years in the future or something, and do it that way.
The red moon with an infinity symbol represents the island's residents' connection to the moon. The setting and details: the hospital is filled with sounds of screaming infected and features reminders of Wesker's past experiments, like Jill finding vials and remembering the experiments Wesker did to her. Leon's segment in the forest.
The problem is, though,
like Jill finding vials and remembering the experiment.
This is not canon anymore of RE5 Remake. We're in the remake universe. RE5 Remake is not a thing. It hasn't happened. So, yeah. I will argue this over and over and over again, but this is retconned so far. And the stuff that if and when or whatever that they make an RE5 remake, it's not going to be Africa. There's no fucking way in hell, especially nowadays, it's not going to be Africa with, it's, racist and this and that and the other thing. They are going to change that shit up to like Europe or something. There's no fucking way we get RE5 remake and it's still Africa where Chris is running around with Shiva and all. Like Shiva, I could see come back. I could see her being part of the wolf team and all that stuff, where she's like on assignments against Blue Umbrella or something. That's the reason why she wasn't in the village squad. But yeah, like this isn't canon anymore. There's no way. There is no fucking possible way that these events in Africa can be canon anymore, because there is literally storyline proof in the remakes that goes against this canon.
Wesker did to her.
Like there's the notes that are left behind of Chris saying that he's over in Europe on vacation and whatnot.
Leon's segment in the forest and on the beach is marked with atmospheric lighting from the moon and eerie sounds, heightening the level of horror and tension. It is said that the witch can also seduce Leon with moans and screams. She has a dress, long hair, and huge boobs. I'm not making that up, that's actually what this says. The goat man, on the other hand, has horns, a huge mouth on his belly, and a large axe. Alright, so there you have it. All the latest Resident Evil 9 playtest.
This sounds like some made up bullshit. This all sounds like really made up bullshit. This is the reason why I can't take rumors serious, but at the same time, it's like some of the rumors will come true. And that's the thing that I hate, but I really hope that's not the actual Resident Evil. I think I'm really hoping that's placeholder just for them to test out game mechanics. So whatever new game mechanics that were there, because this seems like it's somebody's just really focusing on storyline stuff. Does Leon Kennedy have like a fucking a Hadouken or something? It's like, what the fuck is going on with the game mechanics? It sounds like it's just a test bed. And it is a play test too. So, if this feels like it'd be like a wacky dream sequence that they're just like, okay, here's our new mechanics that we got going on. You have this gun, that gun, the other gun. you have a quick turn and whatnot, and maybe you have a fatality that you can do with your freaking knife or something. That's what it seems like. Yeah, I really hope that they just scrap most of that though. Like a fucking I mean, I'd be down for the witch. But Goatman, really? Goatman's coming out after me. This is and the witch. How I mean, I guess Capcom being Japan, they can sort of get away with it, but how can they get away with that when the whole industry is so against, boobs and stuff, right? I hate that. I hate that shit. Everybody's all the woke and stuff, so you can't have boobs, you can't have moans and stuff. Oh no.
Leaks. There's honestly a lot in this that does sound possible, like the continuation of Evelyn's plotline. I have to admit, it would be really cool to see Leon and Jill team up. Also, it's awesome to see Barry return in some way, shape, or form. With that, there's also a lot that makes me question the authenticity of this leak, like the amount of information and details provided. It's very descriptive. Based on this information, it does seem a lot like this is the next Resident Evil 4 remake. It was very popular and sold very well, so it does make sense that Capcom would want to continue that style. I guess only time will tell. Regardless, I'm looking forward to Resident Evil 9 and can't wait for official news from Capcom. But now I'm curious to know your thoughts.
I wonder if they could be test bedding stuff for Resident Evil 5 remake. And again, I don't. Okay, so actually, I think this would be actually the first time I'm talking about Resident Evil 9 on the.
Are you excited for Resident?
What are your thoughts? Perfect thing. Okay, so when it comes to Resident Evil, my thoughts right now is that I don't think it's Resident Evil 9. I think they might be doing a test bed to see what's going on with the public reception to maybe an RE5 remake that is not so a actual full-on remake of RE5 remake where it's not going to be set in Africa and all that. I know that there was the computer screen there showing that Shiva and maybe a connection to Africa, but I think what they might do is like there's a cutscene that somebody made a deal in Africa and then they take a flight out of Africa and land in somewhere's like a Germany, a Russia, something or other. And that's where the actual storyline takes place. So they can get away from the whole, like, black people zombie bad. We're nuking all the African, zombies, whatever, because of course nowadays you can't do that shit anymore. Everybody gets so pissed off and everything about everything. So, yeah, I just don't see like RE. If that is RE9 and they're not actually going to like set up a future Resident, I mean, I know that there's a lot of people also being like, we don't need any more remakes and whatnot. In all honesty, if that is Resident Evil 9, that sounds pretty bad. I just don't. That just sucks. I think the next Resident Evil thing that I would actually like to see is like take, that be a test bed for new mechanics. Take those new mechanics and remake RE0 and Resident Evil 1, and make it into like one game with Rebecca and Barry and all that. Again, that seems more legit. Of like maybe they're that's the reason why you're seeing Barry and all that stuff. Again, though, one thing that I would say is there would be a massive NDA, and to save somebody's ass on the NDA, make all like hint that Barry's coming back, or that Barry is in the storyline, but then he's old man Barry, just enough to like skew it enough to where it's like, no, I wasn't saying spoilers or anything and breaking the NDA. No, I was just saying a fanfic or something, Yeah. Again, Goatman 3000 is going to come out of the woodworks and hunt you, and you can't kill him. No, that just sucks. That's just stupid. Horny witch ladies coming after you because that was the best sounding thing. In all honesty, it just sounds like somebody's making some shit up with all the most fan favorited parts of the last few Resident Evils all thrown together. And usually, what does Capcom do with Resident Evil? They usually do something different and original with their stuff. They don't usually retread the same water that closely over and over and over again. We will have similar puzzles and everything, and we'll have, like the ogre is back and something like that. But it's not usually like, oh, Lady Dimitrescu sold well, so let's make another Lady Dimitrescu. Nah, it's usually let's do something that is going to be in the same vein as that, but it's a very different experience of all of a sudden Leon is got a love interest of Ada, but then Ada turns into a witch or something, like something that is like, oh, I didn't see that coming. That's more or less what Capcom's been doing with Resident Evil. So I don't know. It feels like it's bullshit. Yeah. Anyways, on to the next thing, and actually probably the last thing for tonight. PSSR, PS5,
okay, so interesting
PSSR.
stuff happening with No Man's Sky on the PlayStation 5 Professional. Obviously, we knew from leaks from the game's INI files that it would be launching on Project Trinity, which is the PlayStation 5 Pro, and the patch is now out. And accompanying it was a range of press materials that had 8K screenshots.
Wow. Whoa. Damn. Yeah, this looks great. Like, compared to where the game's launched off from, jeez. This looks like it's like a sequel to No Man's Sky.
It's got an 8K mode. That's the big news, I guess. Obviously there are enhancements to the 4K mode. It does run at 60 frames per second. It does seem to be using PSSR, but there's an 8K mode as well. 4K targets 60, 8K targets 30. And I've got to say, I'm really impressed with it. I thought it's really pin sharp, crystal clear. I don't know what you think about it, John.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. And as we talked about before, it looks much more impressive than I expected. I don't think this does anything to budge the needle towards 8K displays taking off, mind you, but it's neat to see, at least.
The funny thing is too, is like on YouTube we only have 4K, and your monitor or TV probably is not an 8K monitor or TV. So there's literally no way that you can. Even your cell phones are only 1440p, which is 2K. So there is literally no way you can actually see the upgrade happening with this at all, unless you are like go down to a store and look at the damn thing running on like an 8K display panel. The reason why I say that is because 8K TVs and all that are very fucking expensive. I think they're what, $2,000 or $3,000, something like that, for the latest and greatest 8K stuff to actually make the PS5 Pro really, really pop. So, 8K is cool that it's there, but it's just like the 4K thing of, you're already trying to upscale to 4K. Now you're trying to add double the resolution on top of that.
When you sort of run it,
but the fact of it like actually running smooth on 8K, that's actually pretty impressive, though. I will say that
100% scale, and you just look at the pixel density. There's a lot going on here that just makes it look really, really, really sharp. Yeah. I would like to see this on an actual 8K screen at some point, if possible. Just given the fact that the only 8K content I've experienced has been like pre-recorded video, which obviously is limited by things like the lenses, the physical properties of camera lenses and such. But as a digital image, this should be able to get sharper. It does feel like games with these large open view distances will certainly benefit from 8K if they're able to reach it, just given that all that granular detail then can be resolved even when it's far across the screen. So I don't know. It's cool that it exists. I think it's fun that developers have the option to toy around with 8K output now.
Just really quickly, back on the screenshot here. So, No Man's Sky has a very distinct like art style to it, and it's interesting that they would go more detail. So essentially, what you're getting at 8K is just more pixel density, which is just more details being able to be shown, and it's interesting that they would go for No Man's Sky with this example of 8K when No Man's Sky has a very art styled kind of level of detail to it. The world is not, I mean, it looks a hell of a lot more detailed when they're running through this is not super detailed here, but when they're running through the grass and all that is, again, there's not a whole lot going on here with detailing and whatnot. It's just a lot of texture mapping, which, I mean, sure, 8K can make the textures look better, but if there isn't like individual blades of grass and shit that you're running through, like that's where you probably would come into like the biggest increase of like, oh, this looks super cool.
I'm curious to see what they do. I also be curious if Shinen patches The Tourist, which does have an 8K 60 mode in it already. It just didn't, it didn't actually support the 8K output because it didn't exist yet, right? It was downsampled, but now they could theoretically patch that in and just you get native 8K 60 on that, right?
I mean, your eyeballs can't even see 8K; they can barely see 4K. So, and that's with 20/20 vision.
It's absolutely, yeah. It seems like a ready-made 8K project. Why not? I'm just going back and looking through our Slack chat about the assets that were released. Tom, first of all, took a look at the screenshots, and all of the edges came out at what looked like native 8K, but that would presumably be like screenshots taken from the console itself in a static scene. So, reconstruction basically works great when
also, if you send the screenshot, so if you take an 8K screenshot and you send that through a network, is there any compression happening in the sending of the file? So then you are actually missing pixels on the screenshot due to compression. You need like a lossless file compression system to be able to send it over to where you actually have the full, and that goes for gameplay or just a picture. There's always a high possibility that you're losing pixels, and that's what 8K, the whole thing of it is that you have 8K words of pixels on the screen. So
when you're not actually moving,
right?
But then we looked at the video that's been supplied, which is an 8K native asset.
So again, the grass that you're seeing over here, that is definitely where the detailing is coming. But even if you look closer, like down the left hand side of the screen down here, the grass is still, I mean, it's rubbery looking because that's what the game overall, that's what it's just like, this would be the same thing as like Fortnite or something where it's 8K on Fortnite, and Fortnite has such a stylized, look to it. The art style is very stylized to be kind of like almost comic book looking, or not comic, cartoon looking. If you had cell shading in 8K, that would be kind of interesting because cell shading is, it's got kind of that animation over the animation lining over top of the art style. But yeah, this is like, no matter how high resolution you get it, everything is still going to have that kind of like rubbery look to it just because that's the way that No Man's Sky looks.
Set at 30 frames per second, but there is upscaling involved, obviously. A couple of pixel counts coming in from that. 4,608 by 2,592, 60% scale of 8K. Another one that came in is 4925 by 2700, 62.5%.
Yeah, so essentially, even if this thing is running 8K, it's still going to be upscaled, so it's not true 8K. And on top of that, too, take a $2,000 computer and try and run a game in 4K at 120 FPS and see what happens with the FPS. It's most games, I won't say all, but most games, you won't be able to lock it at 120. Some games you're lucky if you can, even with the top end equipment, you're lucky you can lock it at 60 FPS because optimization on the game engine. It just is kind of not there. That could also be said for PlayStation, PS5 Pro with PSSR. This is the reason why I really do want to get a PS5 Pro just to future-proof my console situation. But at the same time, it's like I can wait a little bit on it because there is nothing that has. That's actually a major point I wanted to make while watching all this stuff is like the next gen, if you will. There is nothing that launched with the Pro that makes me go, damn, I need a Pro. everything is going to be later on down the road. Now, I'm not saying that the Pro isn't making stuff look better, because it is, but it's like, it's not, it is definitely, the criticism that the PS5 Pro got was way overblown online, but the reality of the situation is that the Pro is doing a very good job, and it's doing a great job at what it's doing. And probably the best console on the market is that Pro setup. But unless you have a monitor that goes along with it, or if there isn't like a game that you're really like, man, I've been waiting forever to play that, and now it's going to run so smooth and look so good. I've already gone through all the games that are basically Pro enhanced, and I've pretty much finished them. More than half I've platinumed. So for me, I'm just kind of waiting for that one game to come out where I'm just like, fuck, I need a PS5 Pro, because I haven't quite hit that yet.
Scale of 8K, and another 60% scale, 2592p. These are just kind of like snapshots from the video that was supplied. So it really does look good in motion, though. So I think that PSSR is doing some decent heavy lifting there. Does seem to be the case with PSSR based on what we're seeing so far, that similar to other upscalers, and probably more so, the more base internal resolution you get, you give it, the better the output resolve. Right, Alex? Because based on the review that we did for the Pro, Alan Wake in 60 FPS mode, and Dragon Age: The Veilguard, both sub 1080p native resolutions, and
so the biggest difference that you can see is that the dude sitting there dancing around in the beer ball outfit. He's way clearer on the Pro. It looks like the shadow, or the reflection down here in the puddle is way clearer on the Pro. So, so many people are, oh, there ain't no difference and whatnot. Well, there's actually also more water on the road with the Pro version. The trees, like, it's just a blurred, but that could be just the wind also hitting the leaves. But you can actually tell that it's not just a blurry mess. It's about all I'm seeing, really. Well, no, the truck also, the front grate on the truck is kind of blurred out, kind of pixelated, where you can actually see a lot more details over here.
Right.
I think Sony's got a bit of work to do on PSSR there.
Sure. I mean, I'd agree with that. And like we said earlier, even before we got our hands on with the PlayStation 5 Pro, we presumed that, like any scaler coming out for the first time, especially an ML1, it's going to have like its evolution period. Yeah. But one thing
that's just technology. The first run of it is like, okay, this works and it's pretty good, but it could be better. Second run of it is like, okay, it's better, but here's how to perfect it. And then the third, fourth times is like, third time is we perfected it. Fourth time is we thought we perfected it, but now we've actually perfected it. We're going to go through that until the PlayStation 6 comes out. And then, again, I think the PS6 might be the last PlayStation, because it's just going to be optimization after that. And optimization will be kind of on the dev side, not the hardware side.
Thing we noticed,
well, unless Unreal Engine really taps out the PS5, 6, whatever.
Everyone, thank you for being here. Just to go over the agenda a little bit, we'll first talk about offline path tracing. And traditionally, path tracing is only offline. Like, there's only one way to do it. So as we move into real-time path tracing, I'll talk about some of those differences and what that means, how it's different than offline path tracing, and what you gain by using it.
What would be really, if there's one thing that Microsoft has done, especially with Microsoft Flight Sim, is getting so much detail from an online server base and making that, taking the workload basically off the hardware. So then you can end up doing some optimization stuff without it actually affecting the gameplay. Because that's That's essentially how flight sim works. Is it's taken weather data and flight patterns and everything from the air traffic control systems and putting it into the game engine. That's what you're flying against.
So here's an offline path tracing example. This is being done in Unreal Engine. If you look at the bottom here, you'll see a thermometer bar slowly ticking away. Offline path tracing is very slow. It's expensive but accurate. It's expensive because it's sampling every single pixel, often recursively. So it'll sample a pixel, 500 times, 1,000 times, several thousand times sometimes. And there can be multiple bounces occurring along with that. So rays are being fired into the scene, and even a relatively simple scene like this, that's just basically a room, can take minutes per frame, hours per frame, and traditionally, going way back, this was days per frame. So why is path tracing like this? Why is it so slow? It sometimes 4 to 8, but the temporal information contributes to giving us samples in other locations. All of this information is stored in what we call a reservoir. So that's the first 3 words of the acronym. So this reservoir, you can think of as a screen space lighting information that's gathered and processed in a single pass.
Man, I was just trying to think, like as I was listening to him, like, when was the last time I made a PowerPoint presentation? I can't remember. It's at least 15 years ago, if not, man, it was a long time ago. Do we even have PowerPoint anymore? Is that software even a thing anymore? Shit, I blinked and I missed it.
And applied back to the scene. So this is one of the very cool features that comes about from Reister as a technology.
Hold on. Is there? Okay, so it's going to be
set light attributes, cull them out, stream them out, or anything like that. You just flood your scene with as many lights as you want, and go after aesthetics rather than performance targets. We aim for compatibility and scalability with this technology. Compatibility in the sense that we're not doing anything in the NVRTX branch that requires RTX hardware specifically. It runs everywhere that ray tracing runs, which today is all hardware, all modern hardware. So
the problem is there's a lot of people that they're so fucking thick-headed they will not upgrade from a regular GTX card to an RTX card. So yeah, there is still a lot of people out there that are like, no, I will never upgrade, and then like a year or two later, they're I guess maybe I'll pick up the smallest price tag one.
You have broad platform compatibility and scalability in the sense that we build it in with Lumen. So you can use, for example, software ray trace Lumen at the low end.
Lumen,
and then with some toggles.
Lumen looks good.
For high-end hardware, you could enable path traced GI and have that high-end look for like an RTX 4090.
Everything takes so much system resources though that's a lot of the stuff will cancel each other out when it comes down to like, oh, I need to drop, because the game engine optimization, like I say, especially in Unreal Engine, from what I have seen so far in Unreal Engine titles, is that you have to basically downscale the resolution and then use the AI upscaler to bring it back up resolution, just to make sure that the game engine itself can process everything. It's not so much system resources of your graphics card, it's system resources of the game engine trying to be able to process all the different stuff that is happening in the scene. Lines of code just flying every time you're doing something. So yeah, There's only so much pipeline to go around.
Like I said, there are some new features that you see that it falls off sharply as you add in more lights, and that's because they're being processed individually rather than all together.
Right.
And in the bottom chart, so here we have same thing but extended out to 1,000 lights, and you can see that it's not perfect. There's some fall off, but we're still maintaining a very high frame rate, and I think some of this drop are things that we can learn and improve. But you.
Oh man, I'm getting pretty damn tired. I was wondering if they were gonna do like a tech demo or two. Kind of stuff that we kind of already know just by playing around with engines,
or a little bit of geometry there. It's able to cast shadows from it. Optimization is in it beyond just path tracing. One of them is support for foliage meshes at scale.
Could you imagine the Valheim game looking like this? I know that Valheim goes for a more pixelated look, but just, you're running around the forest grabbing your stones and your wood chunks and all that stuff.
That could be ray traced and path
traced.
It
looks like this.
This particular example scene even has a path trace skylight. Right now, skylights are only doing direct lighting, but in the future will also support global illumination from them. You'll notice all the foliage is animated and moving. That's because in the NVRTX branch, we support world position offset animation. So that will work with path tracing, and you can see the effects of all that.
Looks great. I am falling the fuck asleep. So, man, I was looking forward to doing maybe a little bit more tonight. I guess we'll end on this. PlayStation Plus catalog for November. GTA 5 is probably one of the biggest games that they could possibly have on there, and they have it on there. So it's going to be part. So you don't even have to own GTA to be able to go through the GTA 5 storyline, which makes me wonder, could we be seeing GTA 6 in the first half of 2025? I'd hope so. They've had long enough to work on it. Take all the time that you need, but still, it's long enough. Digimon's still a thing. It's still around. Yeah, not too much of, Chivalry 2 is a thing, but Legacy of Kain. Now, Blood Omen Legacy of Kain, that's a pretty big game. We also ready stuff launch of Soul Reaver, which Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered is that's all, because that's the dude there, I think. Yeah, the big stuff coming up, big stuff. And then and Resistance. Now I don't know if this is epic military action blends together in PS3 2006. So it's a PS3 game that they're bringing over to the PlayStation 5 lineup of stuff, but they're not saying if it's possibly a remastering of sorts taken from PS3 made into a PS4 5 version, or if it's just going to be, it's most likely just going to be the PlayStation Now type of, you got to stream the game from a server somewhere. So yeah, we'll see, because I wouldn't actually mind jumping into Resistance. I think that was pretty cool. But yes, I think I need to wrap this up tonight. Almost 2 hours. Latin Grammys. You're looking great. You're looking absolutely great. Wow. They're keeping rock and roll alive. I like it. But yeah, I think that will do it for this one. I wasn't going to stream for too long. That's about 2 hours, like I said. Just wanted to go over some of the gaming news, the Kombat Kast, and all that, because I will be doing a live stream of Ghostface when it drops there. I got to watch me some Scream movies and such. I got a whole bunch of movies to watch. But go on to the rest of the YouTube channel and look around, because I got a whole bunch of WWE stuff that just dropped. Also, we just had the WCW, which is basically the last DLC pack, just dropped for 2K24, and I got some really good matches, sim matches on there of what if matches that never happened, between DDP and Iron Sheik and Lex Luger and you know, the whole 9 yards of everyone. It's actually a pretty decent DLC pack, because it's like, we've never had Iron Sheik in a game that I can remember of, and the Great Muta. We never had either one of those two. So those are going to be awesome matches on the channel. Subscribe to the channel. You can see whenever I go James Lewis mode and actually have WWE title fights against those guys, because I'm getting towards a 300 day run, and I'm trying to beat like 3,000. So I got a long ways to go on that. So there's going to be plenty of WWE stuff up on the channel. And also, I was thinking, I got UFC 5 reinstalled, which I had actually forgotten about the damn UFC sim matches. Probably going to be bringing that back pretty soon too, because they've been updating the crazy. It's like every month that you get like 2 or 3 new fighters on UFC. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that I can do with that. And I might run through career mode again too, maybe, possibly. We'll see. But anyways, yeah. That's going to do it for tonight. I am super tired, so I'm going to wrap this up. Maybe lay down and get a few hours of sleep. And yeah, we'll see. Anyways, if you checked out the channel, thanks for that. Again, go and help me out. Go and check out some other channel. Yeah, my brain is shutting down. Go check out the other videos on the channel. Give them a watch over one time, whether it's, you know, WWE matches or whatever. Trying to get that 3,000 hours mark by the end of the year, so I can actually get into monetization and start to be able to do even cooler stuff with the channel. Yeah, and also going into 2025, I will definitely be changing up some. It's you know, it's a 5th year. Every 5 years, you got to kind of change it up a little bit, at least, you know, start some new stuff, end some things. So there will be, over the next month or so, going into 2025, I will be making some announcements of some, I guess you want to call it program changes, if you will, like the Let's Talk series, which is technically Let's Talk. It's a podcast, what everybody considers a podcast nowadays. It wasn't really supposed to be that. It was just supposed to be like a segment when I'm live streaming, I can talk about stuff, or if I want to make a video, it's a reaction thing. But yeah, I will be making an official announcement on the Let's Talk series, the future of it's in the nearest future. We also have Flight Sim coming up, Game Awards right around the corner. So we got some stuff coming up before the end of the year, but I definitely want to be doing, well, there is going to be some different content on the channel going into next year. Exactly what that content is going to be, we will see. It's definitely going to be some more retrospects next year. I don't know. I'll probably be streaming for the most part, just as much as I always do. I have been taking a few days off the last few days to try and get a retrospect done. I might end up slowing down streaming. We'll see. Definitely, if I get into monetization, this is the funny part about it. If I get into monetization, I will probably end up slowing down live streaming a bit, just so I can actually make better or higher quality content of video content. So that's kind of the trade-off of it, because I only got so much time in the day to do all this stuff. Because I do everything myself. So yeah, we'll see though, because I have some ideas in my head that I've been wanting to do for years, and I finally now have all the technology and everything, I can do it. But that monetization goes a long ways to helping with, like, oh, there's a new controller on the market, or there's a new VR set, or whatever the case may be, new PlayStation, all that stuff. Just to be able to actually sit down and be able to, you know, cover all that stuff of, like, okay, the internet trend is saying this thing sucks. Does it really suck though? Is there some good to it? You know, again, my whole thing of 3 good things, 3 bad things, you know, why some, I don't care for internet trends and all that. I just would rather be like, does it work? Does it not? But yeah, that's just the way I've always been. That's the way I run. And I'm not trying to sell you anything. It's, if I was to do affiliate links in the future, it would literally be for stuff that I'm just like, okay, you know what? I can actually recommend this because it worked really well. Here's an affiliate link or whatever. And that's just the way I've always done my channel. That's, I never ever give like, oh, this thing is an 8 out of 10. You never hear me saying rings like that because I'm just like, I can recommend this. I think it's well made or well done or whatever. I have a bit of a different system than everyone else. Anyways, that's gonna do it for tonight. I think I'm just starting to ramble because I'm tired and all that. But again, I will have a full on like channel update video and everything else coming in the future. And be on the lookout for the Ghostface stuff, probably some Tekken, some Mortal Kombat nights, Metal Gear Solid. I definitely want to be getting into that. Maybe and that's the other one too. I'm gonna start up some more content around Mass Effect because damn it, I do miss messing around with Mass Effect, even though it's getting kind of depressing with the N7 day stuff and everything. It's just like, man, what the fuck? BioWare, come on, get your head out of your ass. You can do better than this. And also the next chapter, we'll say, of the Assassin's Creed playthrough, the Origins, we'll be going to Egypt very soon too, because that's I want to do that this month and keep going until Shadows drops, whenever Shadows drops. It's next year sometime, hopefully, unless they push the date back even more. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this one tonight. It was fun, good stream, pretty simple stream, but I'll be back with even more crazy stuff the next time. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by, and as always, I will see ya next time. I really gotta work on the outro lines.